Yeah, I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me.
Yo, what's good? It's Josh again with the Blacker Than Black podcast, where it's always real, where we don't conceal, and where the truth is revealed. And on today's episode, we have another special guest who is a track and field athlete at Weber International University, also a musician, songwriter, God-fearing man, and a Duval native. My brother, Caleb. How you doing, man?
Yo, man, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, man. Okay, first, so let's clarify for the viewers, because like I already had another Caleb on,
Yeah,
our guy. So just clarify, how do you say your last name completely?
it's Kaleb Tankard.
Got you.
Tankard. It may look
Perfect.
like Tankard, but Tankard.
Perfect. So first question, we're just gonna jump straight into it, right, man? So
Yeah.
I want to talk about your track career to start off. So first, where did it all start?
Till my eighth grade year. So I kind of started late. I started running track eighth grade. And I was bouncing in between track and baseball around that time. So yeah, once I started taking off and we started winning, and ever since from then it was on the road.
Yeah, man. Okay. So, what do you believe to be the most significant part about your career right now in track?
I'll probably say building myself and gathering the different connections that I am being inside the sport and being on this new level. I'll probably say
Yeah.
that's the significance of where I'm at right now.
Okay. So what relationships have you built so far? If you don't mind sharing.
Um, when it comes to the relationships, it's better. Hmm. I'll say, especially with coaches, my new coach, he's a new relationship because being with a coach for so long, you start to get used to the way that they coach. So he's a new relationship. Being with my new teammates, meeting new people in other teams because we've already been competing. I'll probably
Yeah.
say those are some of the new relationships that I've gathered.
Mm. And so with these relationships, have they pushed you to new heights? Like far as like, taking your
Yeah,
career to another level, especially as a freshman.
yeah, they definitely have. Being here because I'm not gonna lie, it's some dogs here. When you
Yeah.
come to the college level, it's some dogs. I got dogs on my team, definitely. Mario Williams, Josiah Williams, Marcus Higgins. With them boys, they've pushed me to a different type of animal. Because coming in as a freshman, seeing the times that they run, you may sit back and look, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to compete. But
Yeah.
off bat, they welcomed me in like I was one of their own, and like we've been friends ever since. We've been close. They like my brothers. So,
So I did a little research, right? On y'all's roster,
mhm.
and it appeared like it was a lot
Yeah,
of freshmen, new incoming freshmen on the team, right? So, do
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel like it's more competitive, already having to go up against upperclassmen and then also the freshmen too, the huge class of freshmen that y'all have now?
Yeah. I say it's friendly competitive though,
Mm,
because we all may argue, and we may bicker in practice, and we all may be racing each other to see who's better. But at the end of the day, we all take it as in we're just trying to iron sharpens iron.
iron
So we
sharpens
all
iron.
trying to better each other. So that's where we all come with it.
Speaking on iron sharpening iron, do you believe that you could take your track career beyond where it is right now, beyond the
I feel like
college
I
level?
can.
Why you
Yeah.
say?
That that's one of the dreams.
What do you want to take it to?
The Olympics for sure. The biggest
Okay.
stage, the biggest stage of them all. I
I
want to
feel
take it
you.
to the Olympics. I want to be able to, represent the United States.
So is it hmm with coming in this new group, because like many people don't know, but you ran track at Sandalwood and you was a dog there. So like we've
Hmm.
established, iron sharpens iron, right? So what
Yeah.
is the biggest lesson throughout this freshman season that you have learned that you're gonna take into next year?
The biggest lesson: don't let one bad race define who you are.
Mm.
I'll probably say that's the biggest lesson that I've learned so far.
Why shouldn't we let one race define us or whatever the case is?
I use that as my biggest lesson because being in track, you're not gonna be competing in just one event. So
Okay.
being in multiple events and doing multiple races in one meet or on different days, letting one race define who you are, you know, it could take a toll on you. If it's a good race, then I say I use it as don't be like stay humble. Because if
Yeah.
you start to boost your head a little too much, then it's always somebody better than you. That one
Yeah.
better person comes and they beat the brakes off you, then you're gonna be upset. And
Yeah.
then if you run a bad race, you let that bad race think you start thinking, oh, I'm not the best athlete. Of course you're not the best, but you can always improve. I always take it back, and we always say we go back to the lab. That's where we're going.
I feel you. I feel you. So, I
Yeah.
want to go back a little bit, right? I want to take us all the way back
Hmm.
because we've known each other since our childhood, right? And
Yeah.
we're gonna touch on this more in the episode. Both of us attend the Bethel Church back home. But
Hmm.
like far as your childhood, take us back. I remember you used to play football. Why did you decide to quit
Yeah.
football altogether and focus solely on track?
Man, football was a time. And it's crazy because a lot of people still tell me, I should go back because they think I could have been bigger. But when it came to football, once I moved up to varsity playing at Sandalwood, the coaching experience, it wasn't the same.
Mm,
I wasn't. It wasn't more of like we're learning, but it was more like this is like a job. Like it's not like we're a bunch of kids having fun playing football. It's like this is our life. Like like we felt like we was in the NFL and we wasn't even getting paid. So I was like, man, I don't know if I could do it. The practices was crucial. And it's not like we was running from hard work, but it was like, boy, we start at 2. We not leaving till about 7:30.
God, dog.
I went, I couldn't do it no more. And
Dang.
once track started taking off a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
I just knew what I had to do. Because
You was
sometimes you got to make sacrifices in order to elevate in things that you want to elevate in. So had
yeah.
to cut football off. It had to go.
So tell us, how do you apply this type of stuff into your everyday life though? Because I'm sure, like, because I'm an athlete as well, and it's a lot of things that as athletes we do things as certain motivation or as fuel to our fire. Everything that we go through in the sport. So tell us, how do you apply this stuff to your everyday life?
Um,
We got him. We got him.
I'll say I don't know. It's I really don't know because when it comes to me personally, it's so much that motivates me that sometimes I'll be forgetting. Like I'll be forgetting, and man, that's a tough one.
Okay, so check it out. I'm gonna share mine so you could get time to think about yours, right? For me,
Yeah, yeah.
I would
I'm gonna need
personally.
to say.
Okay, I got you. For me personally, we used when I was at Reigns, we used to have two a days at the beginning of the season. I played basketball, and we used to get to the
Mm,
school like 4 in the morning. We used to have practice from like 5 to about 6:50 in the morning, and then
mm-mm.
we'll have evening practice at 6 o'clock. And during all this, I was mad. I probably was cussing a little bit, all type of stuff. Like I was going through it, but like in the back of my mind, after like the day was over, I looked back on it and I reflected on it, especially where I am now. And honestly, it just taught
Mhm.
me a different level of work ethic. Like this pace I'm in right now in life, I'm hustling.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna share something probably tomorrow, but the podcast, bro, it reached 6,700 accounts on Instagram. Like for us only to have like
Sheesh.
150 followers, something like that, 6,000 people, even though everybody ain't follow. That is amazing, and that's a testament to work ethic. So me personally, that's
Yeah.
what I would take back and say like, that's a big component of my life when it came to sports. What? So you got yours
Mm.
now?
Yeah. Yeah. I got it now.
Okay, okay.
Um, I could bounce off of what you said about the work ethic, because as much as we felt like we was dying, the coach that I had, he was able to help me form into a different person.
Right.
Because sometimes we get caught up in sports and we let it take over like us, and it becomes our identity, I'll say. But the coaching style that he had, we may have thought he was crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and it was tough and it was rough, but at the same time, some days I'll sit down after practice and I'll be like, dang, it was like a life lesson in there. Like, don't give up, like, be a man. And sometimes you got to take all your struggles on the chin. You can't run away from everything that comes your way. So I think that's what I took and what helped me motivate.
That's good. That's real good. So, um, one of the last questions, about track and stuff. What do you want to accomplish as an athlete at Weber and on the college level altogether?
From Weber and on the college level, I want to become the best version of myself that I can be as an athlete,
Mm. Yeah,
while being here and on the college level all around. Because I feel like once I reach my full potential, that it's nothing that's gonna be able to break me down. So I
yeah.
feel like that's something I want to accomplish while being here and just all around.
Mm. So, what are some places? Because I know y'all season is just getting started, right? So,
Yeah.
what are some places that you looking forward to going to this season? Like far as
Oh,
traveling wise.
uh, this season,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to Miami. I think twice, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's So Miami is somewhere I'm always looking forward to running to, just because of the weather. Um, I'm looking forward to running in Orlando at the University of Central Florida.
Yeah.
I think we might be running at Clemson. I don't know yet, but Clemson is somewhere that I've been looking forward to going there since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
that's 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 on my list. And hmm, yeah, I think that's it.
You
Miami,
know.
Clemson, and University of Central Florida.
Listen, if anybody on this, if whoever is listening to this podcast, if you live in that area, go check my boy out. He go crazy. I'm telling you. I'm
Man,
slow.
we bringing some monsters.
Listen, I'm not no track runner. I hoop. I'm a I don't want to say that. But go check my boy out. He legit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But
Hey man.
we talked about you growing up in our childhood and how we come from the same background as far as
Mm-hmm.
religion and church goes, right? And
Yep.
so for me personally, I know you were brought up in the church. As I stated, we attended the same church. And what I also know is you were exposed to high levels and high quantities of music. So tell us,
Yeah.
what made you want to keep going into music?
Man, I'll say my family. My
Mm,
family. My whole family, everybody has some type of background in music.
yeah,
So living in a household that is full of music, you can't get away from it. It starts to run through your blood, and it just made me want to keep pushing and do more things that around music, the whole music industry.
yeah. So, um, mm, what do you think so far? Because, like I've said, you're a musical artist, bro. And where can they check your music out? By the way. while we're here?
You could check everything out on YouTube, Apple Music,
Mhm.
Spotify, SoundCloud. It's everywhere. Amazon
Cool.
Music, Tidal,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bet.
everywhere.
So, speaking on that, what do you think is the greatest piece of work you've done so far?
Ooh, and that's crazy. A lot of people ask me that question too.
Mm.
Um,
I need to switch my questions up. Then we got to be different.
though I wrote a song called "I Miss You." It was
Mm,
it was my third single release. I wrote a song called "I Miss You."
mm,
I chose that song because one, it's a dedication to my great grandma that passed away. Um, so that song was my way of speaking out about how I felt about her passing and how I was coping with everything. So yeah, that's probably my greatest piece of work.
that's amazing, bro. You know, all of us really need a why, especially when we're
Hmm.
doing stuff, especially in content creation, really in anything. You really need a why because, like, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you can't. We're gonna talk about something else pertaining to this, but you got to make yourself happy and you got to continue to motivate yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, tell us, when did you realize, like, what age did you realize that, okay, this is what I really want to do?
I'll say when I was about maybe 13, 14. That's when I kind of was like, okay, like I wanna make music. I want to be on the stage. And ever since then, I've just been my parents and my family. They all been trying to make sure that I keep the dream alive and keep pushing. But ever
Mm,
since then, I've been on go. I've been
you've
ready.
been on go. The
I
hustle don't
can't stop
stop, huh? I
at
I
all.
don't blame you, bro. So, man, um, what motivates you with your music? What, especially, because we talked about you being an athlete, we talked about you doing all this stuff. You a busy man. I ain't that
Yeah.
busy. Let me stop. I'm very busy. But what motivates you to keep advancing your music? Because like we talk about progression, bro, you can't stay stagnant in one place. So, what
Hmm.
motivates you to keep advancing your craft and your art?
I'll say everyone around me. Everyone I associate myself with, everyone that comes into my life, everyone that's even fans that's listened to my music and that's giving me feedback before. They are what keeps me going. They will help me motivate to want to level up and just create new things because I make my music for people that can relate to me. I don't just make it because it's fun or anything like that. I make it because I want people to understand how I feel and I want people to be able to relate to how I feel. So that's what motivates me to keep going.
Mm. Okay, okay. So I was finna ask you about a quote that the other Caleb gave, but you pretty
Hmm.
much answered that because he said, that he makes music for the people and not himself, and to like essentially just give back and pour into other people. You know,
Yeah,
so you agree with that?
I definitely agree.
Got you. Because
100%.
like I don't know if you've ever seen, but it was this here in Georgia, it's the school, I think it's called McEachern or whatever. And Sharif Cooper used to play on it. And they used to wear the logo on their back that said "We greater than me" or whatever. And so like, I just think that's amazing. You know,
Yeah,
uh, putting your craft, putting your stuff for good use for other people, not for the benefit of yourself, not
yeah,
for the profit of yourself. So it's like, like I said, every guest I tell that come on here, I'm just so proud of y'all, man. Cause like we all just killing it right now.
I
Like,
appreciate it, man.
man, I can't lie. We may not have a million followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, but like my whole thing is if I could touch one person a day, I'm
Hmm.
doing something right. So you know what I'm saying? So um and I do want to know though, 5 years from now, where do you see
Hmm.
your music going?
Hopefully somewhere big. I want to be big. I want to be able to not just touch people that's in Florida or Georgia or that's closer. I want to be able to go worldwide with it. I want to be able to touch everyone.
Mm,
That's where I see it. Naming big lights, on big stages. That's where I see it.
got you. So before, like, I personally, for me personally, I believe that before we can make it to the big lights and the big stage and all that, you
Mhm.
gotta also remember where we come from. And so I
Exactly.
want to take it back a little further, really a little further, but like high school years. And both of us were a part of the 5,000 role models of excellence.
Yes,
So
sir.
tell me, what was that like, being a part of that? What was that like for people who don't know?
Being a part of 5,000 was definitely an eye opener. For me personally, I did not want to be a 5,000 at first because just the thought of wearing that suit every Tuesday, every week, I was like, I can't do it. I told my mentor, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know. But he sat down with me and we had a long heart to heart conversation about all the benefits that I could receive from being in 5,000. And once I signed the papers and my mama signed the papers, it's been a blessing ever since. It's been a blessing. That's all I can say.
Wow. So where has what are some of the opportunities? Where have you guys gone? Where have we gone? Because like I said,
Uh,
I want this to be about you telling your story. So tell us, where have we
mhm.
gone with 5,000?
We've been. I mean, it done took me to newer heights. Cause I ain't. I've been on a few college tours, but the college tours that they took me to schools that I never thought I'd be stepping foot on at all. We went to
Mm.
Florida Memorial. We went to almost every school in Miami, I believe, besides the University of Miami.
Yeah, I do remember that trip because we were supposed to
Hmm.
go, but we didn't end up because something happened with the weather. But um,
Yeah.
so what other were you a part of any other organizations while you were a part of during school?
For a minute, I was a part of the Boys and Girls Club,
Mm,
and that was just for some small time, for some community service hours. But just being there, it's still I was able to gain new connections with older people that were able
yeah,
to give me valuable life lessons. So being a part of Boys and Girls Club was definitely another organization that helped me in my life.
got you. So one key part of senior year in high school, that's especially for athletes. Senior year is a big part. You know,
Mhm.
we really go through it senior year a lot of times, especially junior year and senior year.
Whew.
So what did your senior year look like?
Stressful. It was stressful, and I say stressful because one, for a minute, I didn't feel like I was gonna be able to graduate. Because I had fell off a little bit my junior year.
Mm,
That was one of the reasons. Two, like I said, I still played football my senior year before I had gave it up, but I still had that drive and that love and passion for it, and I felt like I was gonna be able to go to the next level. And not receiving any offers from football, I for a second I didn't think I was gonna be able to go anywhere in track. So I was on edge because I for a second I really didn't know what my next step was gonna be after high
wow,
school.
wow. So what did you do during this time? Because I can imagine that must be hard, not
Oh
knowing what's your next move.
yeah,
So
I s- I prayed. I prayed and I talked to my mom and my parents, my family. I That's all I could do. I talked to administrators like like Caleb Motley mama, Miss Motley. But I tell you, if it wasn't for her, I don't know. I do not know. Cause
I
she
think
helped
she gonna
me.
watch this.
She most likely is.
Yeah.
But Miss Motley, Mama Motley, I love you. Thank you. Cause if it wasn't for you, I tell you right now, cause she know it was times I was slacking in school and she made me sit by myself at lunch and I was doing homework. I couldn't
Wow.
talk to no friends. I couldn't be. She took my phone. It was she put me in check and she really gave me a life check.
Uh-huh. the goat. She one of the goats. I
The,
can't lie,
the
especially in
goats.
our school system.
Is that
Um,
yeah.
so especially with praying, uh, with struggling, not knowing where you're going, that takes a
Hmm.
lot out of a person, right? As we talked
It
about.
does.
So and it, but while it's taking a toll on you, it's also molding you into this person, that's ready
Hmm.
for anything. And when you mold into a person, you grow into something. So what's the best
Hmm.
part about growth to you?
The best part about growth for me is being able to look back and see where you came from.
Mm,
To be able to take steps forward and to be able to look back sometimes and say I've made growth. That's
yeah,
that's the best part about growth because for
yeah,
me, sometimes I may doubt myself and I may feel like I'm
mm,
not growing. But
yeah.
I'll sit down and I'll reflect and I'll look back and I'll say, dang, like you really didn't came a long way from where you was like a few months ago. So I feel like that's the best part about growth.
Hmm. It's amazing, bro. I personally can attest because I talk about it a lot on this podcast about
Mhm.
we and I do want to tell you, you the first athlete to come on the show because
Ah,
I personally I don't want to just be known as this guy who just talk about arts and entertainment. I want to be a sports
mhm.
journalist. So I'm
Yes,
trying to
sir.
get into sports more. So first I just want to tell you, you're the first sports, athlete to come on here, man. So
Bless, man.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
playing.
you. I
But
appreciate
yeah, man, growth is it's a special thing. It's a special thing. When you sit back and you look how far you've come and you look at the stuff that you've overcome,
it. Hmm.
just to be able to sit in a room and realize, like, wow, I'm becoming somebody. And a lot of times
Yep.
when I'm talking on this podcast, I'm not just talking to other people. We're not just talking to other people. We're talking to
We talk
ourselves
talk.
too.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
cause like at the same time, you got to reassure yourself that you're doing something right. Cause like
Hmm.
sometimes people I can't lie, bro. People, we need a reason to believe that we deserve to be on earth. And like growth is just such a big component of that. And it makes it so much easier to understand your place in society. So, talking about society and
Hmm.
all that good stuff, like the biggest thing that people talk about the most, though, is leaving a legacy.
Yep.
When it's all said and done, when you hung the cleats up on the track field, when you stop the music and everything else, what do you want people to remember you by?
I'll say my shine.
Mm,
My shine. Because I say that because some people I know some people can relate. They may say, yeah, I shine when I walk into a room. I always light the room up. But when you have other people that comes to you and tell you that you personally have like shined into their life and like you walking into a room makes them feel better, it makes you feel good. And I feel like that's what I want people to remember me by. I want people to remember my jokes, my smile, just me being the person that I am. Like I don't remember me for Kaleb T. Don't remember me as the kid that was running track, playing football. I want you to remember me by the kid that was just always trying to make other people feel welcomed and happy.
yeah, man. So, um, I first again, I want to say I am so proud of you.
I
Um,
appreciate it, man. Likewise.
uh, looking back from where we come from, like I tell people all the time, it's a lot of crazy places on earth, but in my personal opinion, Jacksonville is at the one of the top places on that list. Um, and we could have been anywhere, but like
Hmm.
we grinding, we trying to figure this thing life out, and we doing it, man. Like that's why I always tell people I'm just proud of you, because like you never know what a person going through. So
At all.
um, before we, because on Blacker Than Black, I want to switch it up. I want to add a little fun in here somehow. Um,
Okay, okay.
but before we do the Blacker Than Black inspirational advice at the end thing, I got a funny question. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. I don't know if you saw it's going viral on TikTok and Instagram right now. Um, it was a girl that danced on a Nigerian artist. I don't know how to say his name,
Ah,
and her
yeah.
boyfriend had bought her tickets to
Yeah.
the concert, and they got groovy. I might, if I can, I'm gonna put
Whew.
this in the clip. Tell, what was your thoughts on that?
Man, but I was laughing. I was dying. And it wasn't laughing as in I was laughing at him. I was laughing because I was like, ain't no way. They didn't got another one.
They done got
But
another one.
what was actually crazy to me, because when you go into the comment section, it was a lot more people that was congratulating her than actually telling her about herself. They was like, yeah, I would have did the same thing. They was going with her. I'm like, huh? I'm like, this, and it blew me because it wasn't just no like regular date night between him and her. They've been together for 7 years. 7 years. You threw a 7-year relationship away for 30 seconds on stage with a man that's probably not gonna remember who you are in 2 days.
Exactly.
I was speechless. I didn't know what to say because I was like, dang. And then they put the camera, everybody laughing at him that's in the crowd. I'm like, man, he better than me. He's
It's
better than
not
me.
funny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Cause like my thing is, this the problem. Like I can't lie, and I saw a comment on TikTok. They talking about some the podcast dudes finna get us with this one. City girls down 5,000, whatever. But you right, we are. Like my thing
Yeah.
is, I don't see like how in the world do we like just sit up here and just let women do us like this? Then we get blamed. Like we still they find a way to still blame us.
They
That
said
confuses
it
me.
was crazy. Females in the comments were saying that he was insecure. They were calling him insecure.
That's not insecure. That is not
At all.
insecure. Like
It was about the principles and the respect of the relationship.
all I gotta say is if my woman, and
My
if I bought tickets to that concert and she went up there, she
I'm
better
tearing
get
the stage
Uber.
down.
She better get
That
Uber.
that little curtain that he dropped. Oh yeah, that's coming down because I'm
Cause
gonna be on stage with her.
what Uncle Shay say? She better get an Uber. Cause I'm finna lose
What?
her.
she ain't coming home with me.
That's the line of the night. She better get an Uber because I'm
She
finna
better get
lose
an
her.
Uber.
Cause listen, bro, we're not gonna stay on that. But before we go, we do this thing. I told you. I know you probably seen it, but
Yeah,
before we go, both of us leave one piece of inspirational advice for this next week. So go ahead and tell us your inspirational advice.
My inspirational advice. It actually hit me today.
Yes, sir.
It hit me right while I was at practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. Simple. It may sound cliche, but it's simple. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Do not stop. Because you may never know when the door that God is about to open may open. You may be right at your breakthrough and you stop. So all you got to do is keep going. If you keep going and you keep praying, you keep your head in your Bible, you ain't gonna do nothing but just move. You're not gonna stop in your tracks. You're not gonna feel like the world is against you. You're gonna move. That's it. Just keep going.
My piece that I'm gonna say, I think of something to say before I start recording, but I really ain't thought about nothing. Okay, I got one. Since it's Black History Month and we finna close it out, and it's the Blacker Than Black podcast, I believe that we need to honor those who came before us and cherish every single moment. And this next week, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like we gotta like come together. And we gotta honor those who came before us. Cause at the end of the day, you know, especially with us being from Florida, we seen firsthand people trying to take our history away.
Yep.
But if we honor those who came before us, and if we stick together, can't nobody take nothing away from us.
at all.
And
Because
as what you say?
well, I was going to say, because trying to do things as you could do things as an individual and make an impact, but doing something with a army behind you, oh, they can't stop you. Y'all cannot be
Especially with an
stopped.
army full of people that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my grandfather say, one thing they hate the most is an intelligent man, but the
Mm-hmm.
real thing they hate the most is an intelligent black man. So like, if I got 50 intelligent black men behind me, I'm all right. I'm okay. It's like David and Goliath. Don't get me started. Listen,
We're gonna start preaching in a second.
don't get me started. Listen, I've come a long way. So, but
Yes.
yeah, man. So I just feel like right now, especially with this next election season coming up, that we need
Mm-hmm.
to honor those who came before us and never forget where we come from,
At
because they
all.
trying to take our history away and they trying to take everything that we've done away. But we gotta combat that and become cohesive as a unit. And we
We
can't
have to.
become cohesive if we doing is going against each other. Um, but
Man, don't get me started on that right there.
listen, we
Cause
talked about it in the last episode with Miss Freshman at Bethune, Nashandra. I said we were talking about black on black discrimination, and I'm sitting up here like, what? And like, it's too much going on for us to be going against each other. You know what I'm saying?
it's
It's
way too
insane.
much. It's
But
and especially in being an athlete, being in the sports world,
yeah,
it get vicious.
yeah,
People try and tear each other down day after day, minute after minute, second after second. And it's like, especially with us, that we already get the title that everybody's black is either supposed to become an athlete, a rapper, a basketball player, something that's nothing that a white person can do.
yeah,
So it's like, why are we tearing each other down? Like, okay, you may be better than the man that's behind you. Why not help him?
yeah,
Instead of turning around and be like, oh, you suck, you ain't gonna never amount to anything. Why not help him? Why not build each other up? It's just that simple.
yeah.
But
You ain't lying, bro.
I don't know. We just got to come together as one. We have to, because if we
Yeah,
don't,
man. It's hell to pay.
it's hell to pay, and it's
It's
not gonna
hell to
be
pay.
pretty at all.
Exactly. But with that being said, I want to say thank you, brother, for coming on today. It's been a
I,
pleasure to have you on the podcast.
I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Again, I want to thank you to the people who listen. Even if you don't follow the podcast, I just want to say thank you, because on Instagram we've reached over 6,000 accounts with only 5 episodes out, 5 new episodes. We've also on Apple Podcasts, we've reached close to 1,000 listeners. On Spotify, it's like 400 listeners. So at the end of the day, like I say, this is not about me. This ain't about us. It ain't about nobody but inspiring one person one day at a
Mm-hmm.
time. But with that being said, again, I want to say thank you to the audience and the listeners. Even if you've been rocking with us from day one, or if you just stopped by today, I truly, 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 truly thank you for tuning in and listening. But as always, it has been a pleasure to be with y'all again. And this has been Josh with the Blacker Than Black podcast, where it's always real, where we don't conceal. And today, the truth was revealed. I'll see y'all soon, and I love y'all. Peace.